labor that's doing this, and why aren't they in my building? How come they don't want to be a full-time employee somewhere? And just kind of that evolution of the labor model is harder for them to grasp and kind of accept, and they want to see more and more proof points of it. Hearing of other companies being successful with crowdsourcing, or seeing sample data or sample projects done by someone in the crowd to validate that, yes, these crowd workers can produce a work product equal, if not better, than what they're getting from their internal labor force, thereby allowing their internal labor force to focus on higher priority, higher value driving business initiatives within the company.
Question 5. Critics have expressed a concern about the exploitation of workers when it comes to crowdsourcing. How do you respond to this?
I think that's a great question, and there is definitely a misconception around exploitation of workers. Maybe 10 years ago, I wasn't deeply in the industry then, and I'm not super familiar with the practices, but I think there probably was some of that going on, where people were paying very low amounts for kind of low quality work. Currently, in recent memory, as work has become more specialized and driving far more value for customers using crowdsourcing, the wages have risen tremendously, especially for the specialized work where it is high value work for the company. I think people really need to dig deeper in it. A lot of times that misconception comes from someone coming in and doing one task for someone who's crowdsourcing work where there's a learning curve, and they invest a lot of time, and yes, the wage is low, but the incremental amount of time for each additional task or project they do for either that customer or for another customer, they become familiar with the work platform. The time decreases significantly, thereby increasing their hourly wage very significantly compared to their very first item. So I think that's another area where workers and feedback comes in, that it's unfair wages. It's that they haven't, with any job, if you started in a full-time position at a huge corporation, it still take a lot of time to do that first project for your boss, and then every subsequent project for your boss will take less time. And obviously on an hourly basis, you're getting paid by a project. Your wage would be much higher on the later project and much lower on the first project. And that's kind of what happens in the crowdsourcing realm for someone new to the industry. So I think that's part of the reason, the misconception around wages and before workers.
Question 6. Long term, do you think an elastic workforce will have a negative or a positive impact on the economy, and why do you think so?
I think elastic workforce will actually have a positive impact on the economy. It allows people who are underemployed workers in our society to find work. It allows folks with variable time during the day an opportunity to work. So someone who is busy during the day with family obligations or volunteer opportunities at night can work, sometimes work during the day. It doesn't matter when they work, there's work always there. From a business perspective, it allows companies to more effectively manage their business and avoid kind of layoffs, hiring layoffs, back and forth from that kind of cycle, and just more effectively manage their internal headcount to a stable amount so there's no surprises for people. Our society can be more balanced and have more predictable income. And from a crowdsourcing perspective, that gives people an opportunity to earn additional income. Students can make money so they can afford tuition and books. I think all in all it would be very positive for our society. And the types of work that's out there, there's highly specialized work, and then there's some less specialized work that people can do while they're sitting at home and relaxing, and whether it's categorizing an item or identifying characteristics of a product, such as black, green, red, what color is this product, something very basic that someone can do while they're relaxing and still be making some supplemental income. I think all in all, having an elastic workforce and the ability to have, for companies and for workers to be elastic is a positive thing for our society.
Question 7. How do you position crowdsourcing to a person who has never heard of it?
For someone unfamiliar with crowdsourcing, explain it as an on-demand workforce. So it allows companies to access workers as they need them, and specialized workers that bring skills that their workforce typically doesn't have. Another great analogy is it's essentially like cloud computing. It's cloud working. There are workers out there that you can access and pay for completing work for you, as opposed to an hourly wage. Or you can pay hourly, but instead of having them just come to your office every day, you can access them as you need them, and they work for you as they're available. Ultimately, it's just a fully scalable workforce that you have access to through the cloud.
Question 8. We know that humans are social creatures by nature. Do you think that crowdsourcing